afternoon, or whatever time it is where you are. This is my August favourites. I'm filming this a couple of days early just because September is a really busy month for me. So I'm actually going to try to get a fair amount of videos filmed this week / weekend so that I can have something to upload throughout the month of September. So let's just jump right into my August favourites. The first one is actually a high-end product, which is really surprising considering I mostly buy drugstore makeup, but I have the Lorac Pro palette. I ordered this off the website called Wish. I have ordered so much more things. They haven't come yet. I will put I will do a whole separate video on my Wish order, but this was in there. I ordered the original Lorac and the Pro, like the original Pro and the Pro 2. So they look like that. Obviously, if you own the Pro palette, like, if you're interested in makeup at all, I'm pretty sure you'll know what this is, but the colours, the top row's all matte, the bottom row's all shimmery. I've got photos on my Instagram of these if you want to go check them out. Link is down below. But these are so pigmented. They're amazing. You can see I've actually used this palette quite a lot because these colours are just right up my alley. They're neutral, but at times they're not too neutral, but they're still shimmery colours. I absolutely love putting nude all over my lid. I don't have any eyeshadow on right now, and I'm sorry if you can hear my cat. I love putting nude all over my lid, maybe mixing it in with a tiny bit of cream, just because this colour is not as shimmery as the rest. And then putting taupe in my crease, maybe with a tiny bit of sable. That is one of my favourite looks. The only colour I find I really probably will not use, if I was to hit pan on all these shadows, light pink would probably be the colour that I don't hit pan on, but swatching it on my arm, it seems like it would be a really nice, like, highlight colour. It's just too pink for what I use, but you never know, I may find a look I love it with. And I have the Pro 2, which is more cool toned. This one's a little bit cleaner because I take a little bit more care with this one, just because I don't use it as much. The Pro one I use so much. There's my cat. So this is the Pro 2. It's more cool tones. I absolutely love that they've put the little pop of purple and the blue. Purple and blue eyeshadow I find goes the best with my eye colour and my skin colour. And again, these are incredibly pigmented. They're incredibly soft and they're just perfect. Now, one of my favourite looks to do with this is to put rose on my lid, or rosé, because it's got the little thing, and nectar in my crease, and then obviously use buff as my highlight colour. That is an amazing look. If I can find some time, tutorials may be a little bit sparse here and there, unless I can get a spare 10-15 minutes to film one while I'm at my dad's, so I'm sorry, but be prepared to see these in a few future videos. I wanted to order some new eyeshadow palettes just because I needed some new ones. The Anastasia one and the Kat Von D one are not the only eyeshadow palettes I use, but I kind of got in a rut where I was only using those, so yeah, I like those. They work very, very well. This next product is something I've owned over a year. I got it at the Easter show in my show bag last year. Never really paid much attention to it until now. It is the Designer Brands Extender Brow. This is basically just brow fibers mixed with a bit of brow powder. Now this one is medium dark. I wish I made a red one. I only got the dark one at the time because my hair was very, very dark brown. This is I'm not opening it because it is kind of messy sometimes, but it's basically doe foot applicator with brow powder and lots of brow fibers on it. Now, I probably would never have touched this product because I didn't need it, but you can't tell, but basically in my eyebrow, I've only got hair to there. See how much my eyebrows filled out? I've only got hair to there. I had this big lump like right there and it wouldn't go away. It kept getting worse and bigger and more sore. The only way that I could get it to go away was to pull the eyebrow hairs out. When I did, it was basically like a pimple that the hairs were like stopping it from getting a head on it. I know that's kind of gross, but that's pretty much what it was like, because when I pulled all the hairs out, it started to bleed. And because of that, when I fill in my eyebrows, you can kind of tell there's no hair there, so I put this over the top. And because it's brow fibers, unless you're looking like really close, my friends who sit like right next to me in class, they can't even tell. I don't have any hair there because my eyebrows are fairly my hair's fairly sparse anyway, but it just kind of looked like I had drawn on my face with permanent marker. This gives it more of an illusion of me actually having hair, so I was going to throw this out ages ago, and I'm glad I kept it. But I just have to put up with having brows that are a little bit more brown than I would usually like, but this is an awesome product. I never really thought I would ever use something like this, but it is great. Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. This is the eye primer. I got 2 little sample ones that came with my Lorac Pro palettes, and I have to say, this is freaking awesome. It almost dries matte. It's just a really nice eye primer. I prefer this over the Urban Decay one. I'm pretty sure these are only small sizes. Let me know. I think they are. They're 5.5 grams, so I'm pretty sure they are. But I have 2 of them, and I use different eye primers all the time, so this is great. I can't use concealer on my eyelids. My eyes are way too oily. If I look like I just have concealer on my eyes, I don't. Unless I have just done my makeup, I usually have my MAC paint pot. But on the days I'm using like an eye base, like a Maybelline Color Tattoo or something, I use this. I prefer this over the Urban Decay one, and it works really well. The only reason why I don't like the Urban Decay ones is because it makes my eyeshadow crease, and I never get that. It doesn't even crease as bad when I just use concealer on my eyes. I have quite a few lip products, so I'll just do the other 2 things. The first one is this Models Prefer brush. Now, I've owned this probably for like 4 years or something. This was my first ever like foundation brush. I used to just apply it with my fingers. Then I bought one of the like sponges my mum used, and it's not even a proper foundation brush. And then I bought this, and I don't like stippling brushes for foundation anymore. But I love this for bronzer. As you can see, it's got bronzer all over it. I'm sorry. But I'm going to my dad's, and I was not washing my brushes this afternoon to transport them 2.5 hours later. This is a really good brush. It's the perfect size, but what I like about it is the bristles on top pick up the product, and then it just puts enough product on my face for it to not look overboard, but I can keep dabbing in my bronzer, putting it on my face, and it never looks overboard. I really like the way that this blends it out. It's a perfect size. It's very soft. I find it blends out my bronzer very well. I use the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil. Pretty much haven't used anything since I bought it like 4 months ago. So yeah, this is my favourite brush for bronzer. In the future I may find something that is different, but right now, out of the brushes that I own, this is my favourite. I was using that Avon brush for a while, but I decided to go back to this just because I realised I hadn't actually used this brush with my Too Faced bronzer yet, and I just love this for bronzer. And the next thing, this is not actually new either, but I have really only started discovering how much I like it. It's the Australis Fresh and Flawless powder. I have mine in light beige, and as you can see, it is pretty damn pale. And this is the drugstore dupe to the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish ones. I bought this to see because obviously, even if it's not exactly the same, it'll give me a rough idea whether I would like the MAC one or not. And to be quite honest, for things like pressed powder, I don't want to buy a high-end one just because I use so much powder because my skin's oily. I don't want to buy high-end ones, and so I just decided to try this anyway for the sake of trying it. And I didn't really like it before just because my skin was so oily before. This wasn't heavy duty enough. Now I've changed up my skincare routine and kind of got rid of all the oil in my face basically. I can use this a lot more. I have used it today. It doesn't make my foundation oxidize. It's pale enough, and it's really nice. The only thing is because this is $13 I think, was expecting it to be a little bit better quality packaging, but it's still great. Now these next products are all lip products. While I was buying several of my designer brands eyeliners, came across this lipstick in the clearance bin, and it's one of the designer brands moisturizing lipsticks in the color Beautifully Bare. Now, to be quite honest, I bought it because I thought it was orange, but it turns out it's this like creamy nude color, and I tell you, this is the most moisturizing lipstick formula I have ever had. This is beautiful. The color is the perfect, I don't even want to say it's a nude, I just want to say it's a straight up peachy coral. It is perfect. It is my absolute favourite colour. If I've been wearing a nude lipstick, it's been this. And I kind of cheat every morning. Once I clean my teeth, my lips are so dry. But I can kind of cheat and not have to use lip balm. I can just chuck this on over the top and it's perfect. It's very moisturising. It stays on all day. The other day, I applied it at like 7:15 when I normally do my makeup. And I ate recess and lunch, came home from school at like 20 to 2. And it was still on. It was still on. I rubbed like my mouth on the back of my hand thinking that, oh, my lipstick isn't on, and it all came off onto my hand. It was still on. I love it. Designer Brands is cruelty free and vegan. The next 3, these are what my sister Sam gave me in a heap of makeup. This first one, I originally thought it was a Revlon lip butter, and I was kind of upset when I said that when I saw it wasn't. It's one of those Colour by TBN. It's like one of those really cheap brands that you can get at the chemist, but they're actually quite good. I have a heap of their nail polishes. And it's just a bright red lipstick. It's slightly on the orange end. I'm not swatching it because it's so pigmented. It's crazy. I'm definitely going to go try and buy more of these. They're great. It's just so pigmented and it lasts a while. It lasts a long time. So yeah. This was kind of the month for red lips for me. I kind of discovered my absolute favourites. Now this lipstick is the Constance Carroll UK in the colour Sunset, again given to me by my sister, made in the UK. It is just a bright orange. She kind of mangled it, made it a bit gross. It's just a bright, like metallic orange, and I love it. It's moisturising, it smells nice, it is easy to apply, it lasts so long. I find it's one of those ones that just makes your lips look so healthy. And the other one with that is this Nutrimetics Glossy Shine Lip Lacquer over the top of it. It's pigmented, it's not very sticky, and it's great. The colour of this is Apricot Sunset. And what's this one called? Sunset, so wow. And I really like this Siren lipstick. This Siren lip liner, this is from the OXX, which is the $2 brand for Kmart. It's in the colour Siren. It's just a bright red. These are easy to use, they're not drying, they're great. What's it called? Empties video. Don't know when that'll be up, but I'm wearing this lip liner. So that is basically my favourites for this month. I'm sorry if this video is really long. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!